Hey everyone, welcome to episode 19 of the Cinematic Boys Reviews. Of course, is your boys here, Dakota, Sammy, and Bilal. How you two
What's going
doing
on,
today?
guys? Great. How's
Yeah,
everyone else doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Just
So,
another
guys,
day
if you see a
in
little bit,
paradise.
we got a little change of scenery here. We decided to put Bilal on the bottom today. So a
Haha.
little bit.
I see how it is.
Next time we need to
I
put
just
them on
want a
top,
little.
so it's like a pyramid. I want to see a pyramid on the next episode. Episode 20. Can we
Okay.
get a pyramid
Y'all
in the
don't
chat?
appreciate me enough nowadays. I see
I'm
how
promoting you to be on top. I'm giving you free marketing.
Okay, I appreciate saying me, but Dakota put me in the bottom. Come on, man.
Hashtag Bilal's a top.
19 reviews and a whole bunch of podcast episodes, and you put me in the bottom. That mental disrespect, fam. Are you serious right now? It's even more disrespectful than the Regency. God damn.
So Bad Boys
But
2, man. What a movie.
But of course, today, guys, we are doing the second Bad Boys film review in it because, of course, if you guys haven't seen it yet, go check out our
What you gonna
Bad Boys review for Cinematic Boys review episode 18. But of course, this movie is directed by the greatest action director of all time, Michael Bay. This came out 2003. And
Great action director, Michael Bay. Oh God! Oh Lord! Oh, sorry.
So I wonder how this podcast feels about Michael Bay.
yeah,
I
I'm
was,
the
I
only
was
one
being,
that
I was being
likes Michael Bay.
sarcastic. That was rhetorical. I'm just joking to coach. It's all love.
Michael
At
Bay's
least you're
still okay.
dedicated. At least you're
Yes.
dedicated. Man. Yeah, I gotta give it to you. You're not gonna switch. And if you're gonna die on a hill, at least you're dying on one.
Garrett Evans is the greatest action director of all.
Okay, that's a statement. That's.
Yeah, have you seen the Ray 1 and 2? Exactly.
I
This point.
think was it Park Wan Chu? I might be butchering his name. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna look it up. Be 100% right. An old boy.
Park Chan Woo. Park Chan.
Yes. Yeah. Park Chan. Is
That's
it
who
Wook?
it is.
Wait. I feel so
It's Park
embarrassed.
Chan
doing this
Wook.
now. Yeah, Park Chan Wook.
It's
Yeah.
Wook.
Is it Wook? All right, we're gonna edit this. We're gonna edit this part out of the podcast. Let's start over.
No, I'm leaving it in. No, I'm leaving it in.
So Park Chan
We're
Wook
going-
is the greatest action director of all time, and he's also made some
Do
of the
not
most
spoil
fucked up
Old Boy, by the
things
way. I need to still watch
ever
it.
created.
You haven't seen Old Boy?
We have to review Old Boy
No.
because it's one of those movies that you think you know what's going on and you think you like it, and then
Okay,
it
Bilal,
ends,
I am sorry.
and you just
We're throwing
don't
the raid
watch
out.
anything.
We're putting Old Boy in.
Nah. Let's do the raid
do Old
first.
Boy
Let's do the raid
instead.
first. We can get Old
Ray
Boy
first,
later.
though,
Okay.
man.
Raid first.
But let's get back to the review for this week of Bad Boys 2. Of course, this movie came out in 2003. This stars Will Smith and Martin Lawrence again. Who
Hard
else is
Day again?
in this?
Wait,
Martin
it was
Lawrence
that
and
one.
Will
It was
Smith?
that one guy. It was that one guy
Oh,
that
it's,
was
uh,
the fish in Shark Tale, bro. It was
Oh
the
my
fish in
God,
Shark
it
Tale.
is.
Wait, who are you talking about?
The fish in Shark Tale, dude. He's in this movie.
No, who's the actor?
You know who?
Wait, is it the Russian guy?
Oh my
Wait, is it the
God.
Russian guy?
Yes. Wait.
He plays in
wait.
everything.
Will Smith, man.
It's Oscar, dude. Oscar.
Yeah, who plays Oscar and Nemo?
It's not Nemo. It's Shark Tale.
Wait, I don't think Dakota knows what Shark Tale is.
Oh.
You not know Shark Tale? That's like one of the. It's the best.
I know
one of the
Shark-
best
it's
gangster
been for-
movies of all time.
Hold up there.
It is.
Alright,
It's a
too far
gangster
without
movie.
Bro, we're going off
The bits,
the rails
yeah.
right now.
The bits.
Let's
um,
reload the thing. Dakota, what are your thoughts of Bad Boys 2?
No, I'm still.
homie?
Wait, hold up, partners.
So, Sammy, what are your thoughts about?
No. I was going to ask you guys. Is this Sammy? Is this your first time watching Bad Boys 2?
Yeah. I hadn't seen the Bad Boys movies before this, so
Better late than never.
Bilal, how many times have you watched
That
it?
is true.
3.
Is this your first time watch or
Second rewatch. Spinal.
okay? I don't know.
He's never gonna
I don't
watch
know.
it again.
My back
You said
hurts.
he's never gonna watch.
No,
I
he said he's never gonna watch it
I
again.
saw your Letterboxd review. That was priceless.
my back hurts. Spinal injury. Shout out to Mike Tyson, by the way.
Good
Oh
old
my
Mike.
goodness. But let's go into our spoiler-free thoughts. Sammy, what are your spoiler-free thoughts on this? Because this is your first time watching this movie.
Okay, so this movie does a lot, and I feel like it's a lot bigger than the first movie in scale and what it tries to do with comedy. Especially the length of the movie. It's like an extra 45 minutes compared to the first movie.
Yeah.
Isn't the first movie? Yeah, hour 45. And so
Yeah, this is 2 hours and 27.
yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be that long, but I personally enjoyed it. I think it handles everything really well. It's just a lot more of everything, but in a good way. We get to see like Marcus and Mike's relationship build up more. Mike Lowry. And
Mike Lowry.
I loved it.
Okay, Bilal, what are your thoughts?
Hello, what'd you think?
It's Michael Bay. I mean, I think this is Michael Bay's best movie, bro.
It is Michael Bay. I agree with that. It is Michael Bay's best movie.
Like it smokes like Transformers, Dark Moon, Transformers, but like
Not talk about the movie.
What?
It smokes the first one too, in my opinion. It just
it's-
smokes Bad Boys 1. Like it's just a way more
Yeah.
fun, stupid movie, and it knows when to have fun.
Yeah, but like the thing about it, it's self-aware of being this dumb action movie, which is the point of it. And this is like Michael Bay. Like the first movie had like a little bit of Michael Bay. This is like full-fledged Michael Bay explosions, crazy action. That's everything that you expect from a Michael Bay movie, even further. But this time around, it actually works. It clicks. Obviously, Will Smith and Mark Lawrence, the dynamics between the characters are strong, and there's a lot of over top action in this, and it's really creative on how they did the action for this movie. Especially it came out in 2003.
Yeah.
And it very much has that like 2000s over the top
Fast and
glossy like,
Furious.
action flair. Yeah, like you can tell they took a lot of inspiration from the like first and second movie coming out around that time.
Especially with like the truck scene where like it carries all the cars. Yeah.
They like we all knew what that was from. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna ask you guys a quick question. So of course
sir.
they're already filming the Final Fast and Furious movie. But if they didn't, could you see Michael Bay doing one of those movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's somebody they would have approached at least like as an option to like ask.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
Here's the thing about Michael Bay. He got this drone and he's been using it like crazy nowadays. I don't want that in a Fast and Furious movie because I feel like I'll probably throw up.
And there's already like a lot going on in Fast and Furious now.
Exactly. And with Michael Bay, it'll be even more crazier.
I mean, we had Ludacris in space.
Man, you one ludicrous looking motherfucker, aren't you?
But Bilal,
And we're back.
Is that it for your spoiler free thoughts, Bilal?
Yeah.
What about you,
Okay.
Dakota? What'd you think, man?
I love this movie so much. There's so much comedy in this. This is the hardest I've laughed in, like, sometimes, like, from watching a movie. Like you said, it gives that early 2000s comedic, and I think that from the early 2000s all the way up to about the middle of the 2000 teens, like when there was comedies in movies, it always hit. Sorry about that, but it almost always hit because it seemed like comedy nowadays, except probably the Bad Boys movies, they're not that great.
Well, it's a weird market too. Like, I feel like there's comedy's like in a weird space right now where you have like a lot of you have people that are like, okay, this isn't funny anymore, so we have to evolve the joke or not talk about this. And then you have the other side of it where people are like, fuck that, this
Oh
is still funny, we're
no!
gonna keep doing it. And it's just a weird, oh, what are you saying?
I was
Everything
looking.
good?
I was just looking
He's
at
watching
score.
he's watching the score of the match.
I was making
Celtics
sure, yeah,
game
I was
right
like, he looked disgusted. I mean, like,
I watched something. I'm like you. He saw the score of the game. I knew he was going to keep up with the
Oh
score.
god!
but also I feel like
Ew.
they throw a lot of in comedy and like in superhero movies now. And so it's like, okay, we can make a movie that has everything in it. And like that's the big marketing thing. Because I remember, I think it was the guy, I forgot his name. It's the guy from the Righteous Gemstones and Pitch Perfect. I'm gonna look up his name real quick. Adam Devine.
I never seen Pitch
He
Perfect.
he was Adam Devine did an interview like within the last year where he was talking about like in it's like 2007, like one of the peak years for comedy.
Super bad.
Like in American cinemas, there was like 60 like comedies released that year in theaters. And 20, I think it was 2021, 2022, it was maybe 7. And a lot of it is just getting like thrown on as like streaming shovelware.
Yeah, but like another issue of comedy is cancel culture, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So like you have the spectrum that's like, okay, like this isn't acceptable anymore, or like we can still tell a joke, but like we have to find like It's Always Sunny, I feel like did that, where it was like, okay, we can't say that or do this anymore. But like we can still talk about the topic and find funny things within it, but also be real and genuine about it. Like real and genuine
Like
about like the representation of like what they're talking about. Versus like, oh hey, let's make fun of this person.
because
Or you
especially
have
what
stuff
you were,
like Kill Tony, where it's like the way opposite. They're like, nah, screw all that. We're just gonna say whatever. And you got like two sides of the fence, and nobody's gonna market the side of the fence that's saying anything. You know what I mean? Because it's just you gotta have a boundary line at some point. You know. What were you saying, Dakota? I
and
didn't
what
mean to
I
cut you
was
off. Sorry.
you're good. And for example, it just released today that they're not going to make Super Bad 2. Like everyone wants a sequel. First of all, I don't know why you want a sequel to it. It's just perfect the way it is. And like you said, it came out in
Yeah, I wouldn't
2007.
want to
It came
sequel.
out during that time of like peak comedy, and like you said, a lot of those jokes in that movie would not last today.
But even then, like I feel like Superbad as a whole is a great movie. And I think it's one of those things that's like it's just like it's a movie from its time. And I'm not saying that as a defense for like everything in it. It's just like I feel like with certain movies you have to have media literacy. But then there's also movies where like they just don't age well. Like where you're like, ooh,
And
yeah,
to be
like that's
honest
a
with you,
great example. Like Rush Hour. Like that's a franchise that's super like it's not aged well, but they're objectively good movies. But also, wasn't the director like was it that movie or Lethal Weapon where the director had a bunch of assault allegations?
probably that because Richard Donner didn't have anything. That's the only Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember which one had Richard Donner. Yeah, it was Rush Hour. After I think it was like the first like 2 Rush Hours, like they fired the director, and it, like I said, like
Because that's
there's a
why
boundary
3 took
line.
so long to make.
But also, I feel like a lot of comedy wasn't built for like sequels back then. It was just one off like it's just one off stories. They were never
And
intended
I
for
need
that. Like I saw where they weren't doing Pineapple Express 2, and it's like that makes sense. Why would they? And James Franco and Seth Rogen aren't friends anymore, so it's like, why would they make a sequel? You know what I mean?
and plus you gotta think some of these actors are not that great anymore at their comedy.
I don't David was the sample that you choose. I never
No, no,
found
no,
that
no.
guy.
I'm talking about super
Well, no,
bad.
I'm saying like his conversation on modern
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
comedy. That's why that was because he was bringing up a good point and actually had the numbers to show like theaters and why they're not marketing it. And his belief was in the MCU taking a lot of that. I don't think it's entirely that, but I definitely think the whole let's package everything in one movie idea that Marvel started to develop definitely caught on with comedy. Because yeah, I mean like Guardians
Okay,
showed
I'm
you
going.
could be a hilarious, you know what I mean, and still make a good movie. I know I'm going off rails. I'm sorry.
No, 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 no. But no, no, no. You going? But I gotta do a little rant before we get back to Bad Boys. I don't know why. It seems like everyone, it doesn't matter what happens in the movie, they blame Marvel. I'm tired of people blaming Marvel for comedy, for for example, theater things like we were talking about Furiosa. Everyone's like, "Oh, they just go because of a Marvel movie that gets all the money." It's also because you're not making original shit. You're making sequels and remakes, and no one wants sequels and remakes. But people, when they make an original thing, kind of like Monkey Man, nobody goes sees it,
And a lot of
and
it's
they
too is on
complain.
like, yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to keep going. Keep going.
And not only that, like you said, I think I know what you're gonna say. Like streaming, that's the one thing I don't like. Ever since the pandemic happened, it seems like streaming is the easiest way to get through this. And it started with Netflix, and Netflix is not that bad because, of course, they make their own movies. But it's like when you get the Disney Plus, the Paramount Plus, the Max, the Peacock. That's when you start with these bigger studios. Like example, The Fall Guy goes to theaters, is only released for 2 weeks, then hops on to buy on VOD,
And I was
and
gonna say,
that's
I
my
feel like a
biggest
lot of
issue.
it's like marketing too. Like a lot of studios are having this mindset now where they don't want to market original content, at least for theatrical releases, or if they do, they don't market it well. And even with movies that are critically and commercially successful, like say a very critically acclaimed A24 film, I will go ahead and predict that like half the time the marketing is not the movie.
I
And
agree
that's to
with you
say with
right there.
anything. That's to say with anything. But that's a statement on like they. I feel like Hollywood doesn't know how to market movies really well right
Because
now, at least when it comes to like original properties and what a film's actually about. And I think a great example is like I saw the TV Glow. I everyone thought it was this A24 Stranger Things movie, and it ended up being a very coded like queer piece, and that was just not
and I'm
even
gonna,
highlighted at all within the movie.
and I want to ask you this, but also because of course I'm gonna spit out some A24 movies that you really like:
Yeah.
The Witch, The
Yeah.
Lighthouse, Hereditary, Midsummer. I didn't hear no marketing of those, and that was before the pandemic. I only heard about Midsummer because one, it was playing in my theater, and Brandon wanted to go see it. That's the only reason I know about Midsummer.
Yeah.
I never. The first time I saw Hereditary was in our local college's library. That's the first time I ever saw Hereditary. I never heard no marketing about it. I never heard nothing about this movie.
To be
And The Witch, I
fair,
didn't.
that was a time when they didn't really have the attention that they did. At least with stuff like The Witch, where it was like, okay, like we're a new studio, we're still trying to sell people. Like this was before Moonlight. Moonlight is what made A24 like solidify, because it was like, okay, here's a new studio that just won Best Picture. Like that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So like I would say with like movies like The Witch or like Hereditary, it was still like really early on in A24 trying to be that studio. And so they just didn't really they were putting more money into the talent in the movie itself rather than the marketing. But definitely Midsommar I felt like was
Okay,
undermarketed. I felt like if you didn't know Hereditary, you didn't know Midsommar was coming. It was a very much a two movie thing. Or same with like Us. Like when Us came out, like it was just kind of like they didn't really market it super well, I felt like,
no, they
compared to
marked
like
it. It's
Get
only
Out.
because Get Out did so good.
But like if you didn't watch Get Out, you weren't really in the know of what's going on. You know what I mean? And I felt like it just kind of came out. It just came out, and unless you knew what was going on and were following Jordan Peele, it was just kind of everything else. And I don't know. I just think there definitely has to be like a readjustment on like what the market wants, because they just don't understand a lot of Hollywood like executives, I feel like. Or it's just a money game
Okay, let's get back to Bad
nowadays,
Boys.
you know.
I will.
Yes.
Once we get to the box office numbers, I will explain the box office scene, especially I think what will happen with this new Bad Boys, because of course during these times. But the rest of my thoughts, like I said, I love the comedy in this movie. It's Michael Bay. This is when you see full Michael Bay, because you know how I said in the first Bad Boys review that it was kind of like the start of his directing career. So, and by the end of that movie, you get that high octane action sequences. In this, you get right at the beginning with the KKK scene, and it just goes out through the movie. And I think that's why I really like it, because not only that, but I think the cinematography. There were some shots in this that remind me of the original Transformers trilogy. The cinematography, the shots, and everything.
You definitely see a style start to flare out here, and also that being the opening scene is crazy. Like I think that has to go on record. I have never in my life seen a movie do that like right at the beginning. I was like, yeah.
But that's it for my thoughts. Let's get into spoilers because I really want to break down this movie and talk about it. So, guys, if you haven't seen Bad Boys 2 yet, we will tell you guys at the end of the episode where
Man.
you can stream it and stuff. But, guys, go watch this movie, come back, and watch the rest of this review, and tell us in the comments what you guys think of Bad Boys 2. But, Bilal, not only Bilal, but Sammy, when you guys were talking about the 2003s, the opening credits to this gives the like the like yeah, it's opening credits. It gives that 2000s, early 2000s feel, like the
It's
techno music. It's kind of like, Fast and the it's literally like Fast and the Furious. Remember the first Fast and the Furious?
Yeah.
It was really like techno music and that stuff, and that's the way it felt with this.
and especially just like I don't know like you said the cinematography, like the color grading. It's got that like they really go for that orange again. But I also really like in this movie, like at least compared to the first movie, in my opinion, the lighting is crazy. Like I feel like they don't really commit to one style or one like significant color throughout the movie. You'll constantly see like, okay, Martin Lawrence is walking down a hallway with a green light shining in the corner, and he
Yeah, I
turns
seen
the
that.
corner and then it's red in the next room, but it's the same shot. And you see both but it looks good. It feels like it's unnatural, but it's fun. It's got this like cool energy to it. It makes it feel like more of like this octane action movie in a weird way. And I feel like not a lot
So
of movies of that same genre go into color the way this movie. Like I just noticed from the get go, out even outside the club scenes, like they'll just be in a building, and it's just their lighting department really went ham. And I think I wish we saw more movies do this, and I feel like we are starting to see more movies do this. But it's just really cool to see that they were like for the second movie they really went in on that.
but I want to talk about um the opening scene. Bilal, how you feel about this opening scene?
I think the opening scene is very crazy, but it works for the time, though. I mean, that scene would not fly in 2024, most definitely. But I do love that when they're dressed up as, the white supremacists and taking it off, it's like Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. I thought it's a cool scene, though.
And like
It's,
it exists in its time. You know what I mean? And like I feel like they could do something like that now, but obviously there's the way they go about it in that scene was very dated. But
Okay,
that scene when they like rip it off, I remember I was sitting there like there ain't no this is crazy, dude.
no, okay. So the two scenes I love the most is when him and the KKK leader are um when they're arguing back and forth, and he's holding Martin Lawrence hostage,
Yeah. That's I don't
and
know, that's
and
just crazy.
also when he shoots the dude, he shoots Martin Lawrence to the ass.
oh, yeah.
And then
Shot
he's
me in
like
the ass.
I love
You
how
shot
that's
me in
what
the
leads
ass.
to their conflict. You know what I mean? Like that it's just I feel like this movie just like keeps going, but it knows how to keep going. And it's enough to where it's funny and you buy it. You're
I
not like,
mean,
okay, this is insane. Like it is insane, but it makes sense. Like you just kind of go with it. You know what I mean?
like it makes sense, but it's also crazy that you have two perspectives. So you have Marcus, who wants to transfer, wants to, go to different, dad stuff. But yeah, Michael Lowry dating Marcus's sister at the same time. I'm like,
Woosah! Woosah! Just take a deep breath. Woosah! I love the captain in this movie again.
No. Okay. I love this part when he shoots him in the ass, and then after the whole thing happens, he's like, "At least I shot you in the cheek and not the hole." I start busting out laughing.
You took a big chunk out of me. The doctor says, it's just a small chunk.
But
oh, no. There's a scene where there's rats fucking each other.
Yeah, and they do the prosthetic, like, that
and then
shit had
Martin
Jim
Lawrence
Henson
comes
blushing.
out and says, they fuck just like us.
Mike. Oh, what's his name? Oh, what's his name in the movie? What's Martin Lawrence's name in the movie?
Marcus.
Oh,
Where
he's like,
have
Marcus,
you
what?
been?
He's like, Marcus, what? He's like, there's rats fucking. He's like, what do you mean? There are rats fucking down here. They fuck like us. I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
No, yeah, I just, like you said, I feel like the comedy just stepped up a lot here. And it's versatile. Like, it's not just the same thing. It's not trying to be it's over the top, but it also knows when to have like a simple idea for comedy. Like Marcus being scared of rats. That's hilarious. It's simple. It works.
What is the one image from this movie that gets stuck in your head always?
That's a good question.
I'd say either the scene where they're painting the mural or the rats.
It's the when the Russian guy and Johnny Tapia are talking, and he's like, "Can I have my business partner here?" And they bring him in the drum.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, wow, because why don't we watch this back in like during the beginning of the pandemic? Because it's been forever since I've seen that before. I'm like, damn. I'm like, what did I watch when I was younger?
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely like I rewatched 16 Candles recently, and it was like that. I was like, I did not remember this movie like this,
bro. You know the scene that gives me the ick is like the body scene when they're like going.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like I wasn't expecting that. Like, and that's a crazy plot line. That's a crazy plot. Be like, oh, they hide the drugs and the money in the bodies in the cat.
Marcus, when he hides the thing, he's like, "Don't tell my wife."
Like that's a thriller plot. Like that's something you watch in like a horror movie.
You know what's the
and you're
dumbest...
like scared. Like you're like, what the fuck is wrong with the people that made this movie? Like,
you know what's the dumbest shit? But is Marcus that excellently takes the drugs, like it just lifts into the car, and he just like, I'm like, bro, how do you like not see the drugs in the cup? You just like pour the water and just drink it. Like, bro, what? It's like,
I love that.
The captain's like, is he tweaking?
He's like, Mike's like, Marcus, do not screw this up. We are trying to get the fucking warrant. And then he's like, he goes up the steps. I love when he goes up the steps and he gets the captain's robe and he just starts dancing back down the steps about the door. He looks at Marcus. He's like, he's on something, isn't he? I like the captain do the whole entire time.
But also, that's one of those weird scenes where like it's actually like a sellable drug scene. Like there's some movies where they do the drug scene and you're like, that ain't what that would like. Yeah, it's fun, but that ain't what it's like. That's not what that would be like. This scene, like you watch it and you're like, yeah. Yeah.
No,
that looks like someone that's on some shit. Like
the other scene I love is when they're in the video shop.
Yeah.
The
I have a reaction.
I have a reaction. It's like,
oh, like the later on when they go into the bathroom at the mansion, and he's got the towel, and he's like, I just got an
You know
erection.
when he said the captain's
Oh my!
he's like,
And they're
wife.
like,
He's like, I'm gonna call my wife. It could be a good time tonight.
and Will Smith is like, "Are you serious right now?" It's like, "Let's go, man."
Okay, Speed.
No. I love that. But that after that scene, that mom's like, you two need Jesus.
Or like when the boyfriend comes over, like that was hilarious.
Oh,
That's
Reggie.
that's iconic. That's iconic. And
Shitty,
honestly,
shitty, bang, bang.
props to Reggie, low key, because there's
Okay,
like
can I tell you
there's a
something about that
couple
scene?
times he looks
Hey,
like he's gonna start breaking,
No. Okay,
but he
can I tell
holds
you about
that
scene?
shit.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys about that scene. That was on improv.
I know.
whole-
Right?
Yeah, it has an improv feel to it, like
No,
especially with
no.
Will Smith more than Martin.
The poor boy didn't even know they were going to do that whole entire scene. That's why he looks so afraid. It's his actual genuine reaction. He didn't know what they were doing. Michael Bay just went with it.
And it,
You're 15, motherfucker. You look 30.
he really did look older though. Like he was tall for 15, man.
Oh, you gonna love
Are
Reggie
you
the Third, though.
virgin? You better stay that way. There won't be no fucking tonight.
And it was I just love how they commit
Will
to the
Smith-
good cop, bad cop.
I just
that
got
they
out
do.
of jail and I ain't going back. And they ain't seen gun
I
before.
love it. The thing,
And the mom
He's
comes
like-
up. It's like, I'm so sorry for him and his friends.
Silly
He's like-
shit.
he's like, have you ever made love with a man? No. Do you want to? No, sir.
Sure.
He looks so scared, dude. He's so scared.
That scene always gets me
Move
no matter
out
what.
of the way. Man,
If I see you on the highway, get the fuck out of my
He's like,
way.
this ludicrous looking motherfucker. This shit's so funny, dude.
I love he's like Mark, because of course Marcus tells Mike that he's going to do the transfer thing, and he's like, Mike, we getting old. He's like, some guy's trying to pick up my daughter. I love. He's like, you young thundercats are always trying to do stuff. That scene's just so good, though. I think that's the thing, though, because like you said, like Martin Lawrence was on Martin. And that was a comedic show back in the 90s. Of course, Will Smith was on First Prince of Bel-Air. And at this time, he was doing Hitch also.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, it was very evident that Will Smith was trying to, like, he had been seen as an actor over at least an artist at this point in his career, especially after like stuff like Independence Day and like Pursuit of Happiness, which I believe.
No, Pursuit of Happiness was after Bad Boys 2.
Okay.
Because Pursuit of Happiness was in 06. That's when Will Smith started going more of the serious side of acting.
Yeah, you're right. That was 2006. I don't know why that was. I thought it was
Because this last comedy was Hitch.
And I Am Legend. What a movie.
I can't believe we're getting number 2 with Bilal's boy.
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah.
It's about time though, because like I love.
No,
I'm
okay.
like, it's
So a little
underrated.
tangent. I haven't seen
So
it, but I know what
underrated.
happens at the ending. Why the hell are you guys going to go with the director's cut ending when you literally put in theater that this dude died at the end of the movie?
I definitely feel like that's one of those movies where like the ending works, but it could definitely not. It could work in different ways. Like I feel like they definitely just made a choice and went with it.
Because I haven't watched it, but I always know his character dies at the end. But when they announced number 2, I'm like, okay, it could be his son, Michael B. Jordan. They're like, Will Smith's coming back. I'm like, how the hell is they going to do that? And then they announced, oh yeah, we're going to go with the extended cut ending and forget about the theatrical cut ending. I'm like, then why the hell did you put that ending in the movie to be released in theaters? Because if no one bought it at home or watched it, the extended version, they're going to be so confused when they go watch this one. Why is Will Smith still alive?
I'm sure they're probably explaining it in the beginning of the film, though. They're not going like, oh, Will's alive. Wow.
He's just like he's kicking. I feel like I'm interested to see how they do that. And you said it was Michael who, Dakota?
Michael
B. Jordan, man.
Keep my wife out your fucking mouth.
What I do? The fuck?
You know, no, I was doing the Will Smith bit, man.
Okay,
You know
so
what I'm
we'll go
wait,
back
you're
to
married?
saying?
Wait, you have a kid?
I was waiting for someone to say Michael, man, and I was like,
no. Okay, to be honest with you, like we were talking about Will Smith not getting stuff. Bad Boys 4 and it seems like Bad Boys 4 and I Am Legend 2 is the only things he's getting right now.
there was a report that if Bad Boys does well commercially and critically, that he's in talks with his agent to be attached to an existing IP in a new movie.
I think they're going to make a fifth one.
That
Also.
report, I think that came out through Hollywood Reporter today. Don't quote me on that, but I saw that report come in today, where it was that was if things went well.
I'm just going to ask Bilal. No spoilers or anything. Could there be a fifth one?
Yes.
Okay. And if it does good, I think they might do it.
I mean, it's Sony.
Yeah, they love their theatrical releases.
I'm not sure, but they could definitely do spin-offs of some of these characters too. But
When are they doing Madam Web 2?
Oh my god!
Oh fuck that movie!
I love that movie.
It's amazing.
You and Argyle, like I'm serious, like
Argyle's fun, bro.
No, we're gonna continue on the Bad Boys train. You're gonna get me pissed at talking about Argyle.
You're gonna get me worked up even more than I am right now. Do I look happy to you?
Yes.
Can we talk about that ending though? The whole
With
entire
the pool again. The pool broke again.
Not the pool.
At the end of the movie.
Cuba.
I thought it was only gonna happen once.
We're talking about the landmine scene, man.
I know. I'm just joking.
Let's talk about that scene in the house where the shooting happened, because that scene was really cool.
Wait, which scene?
Bilal, that's not funny.
Well, that scene with the cartels, man.
Dude, that's the whole entire ending.
No, in the house and like the middle, like in the middle scene.
You know, I'm just messing with you, dude. Yeah, no, that scene's cool.
I am so fucking confused right now.
The scene at the end when they bust in the house and they're all in like Will Smith is dripping. You know what I'm saying? Like they're wearing the fit, bro. Is that the scene you're talking about?
No, can I give you guys some? Miami
like the last
is so
20,
perfect.
they're like the last 20 minutes.
Yeah. When they
is that what you're talking about, Bilal?
Yeah.
When he goes to Johnny Tapia's house.
Yeah, that shit. That's a cool ass scene.
I would call him Johnny Tilapia for some reason.
Yeah, that's a weird. Okay. Can we talk about the villain?
Mid.
He's like they hype him in the beginning, right? They kind of keep you in. They're like, we know what y'all didn't like about the last movie. Here he is, and then they just abandon him again.
For me, right now, out of the three, he's the second best.
Bro, this scene, bro. The scene when
no, we're talking the Haitian house.
Oh,
the Haitian house.
Yes.
I didn't.
Okay, I thought you meant the mansion at the end when they bust up. That's what. Okay, yeah.
I love that scene.
But Martin Lawrence got this.
He shoots the guy. I know we talked about it. Explain it. Okay, so the scene. Are you talking about when there's the one Haitian guy left, and Martin Lawrence starts flipping out? Blah.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the scene where the one Haitian guy is left and Martin Lawrence starts flipping out?
Yeah. And then there's a scene where like the toilet explodes on him.
I do remember that.
It's so stupid, but it's just fun.
No, I love it because he's like, Mike, we only got one dude left. He's like, if you kill him, what's what happened? He's like, well, this dude, he's shot. He looks at the dude he killed. He's like, well, damn, that dude dead.
That dude got.
He looks at the dude. He's like, dude, Will Smith. He's like, you gotta be worried about him more. He's like, yeah, I'm covered in shit and piss right now because one of your friends shot at me.
this is off topic, but I like how the twist with Sydney.
Yes.
Is Sydney her
Yeah,
name?
Sid.
Yeah, Sid's twist, like that was I liked it. I think they definitely like they go into it really well and they tell you at the right time. I feel like I would have been irritated if it was like more than halfway through the movie and then they did that and you're like, okay, why didn't we know? Like I like how they set her up because they set her up like she's not going to be in the movie that long, and then she's like a central character, and I like that. I like when movies kind of do the like juke out.
Can we talk about how the soundtrack ends? What?
I find the meme, bro. Fuck yeah.
Wait, what meme?
I'm saying to Sammy, bro. Oh my god.
No, you guys sent it to me too. But this soundtrack bangs on this movie.
Yeah, the soundtrack is really good. At least I like the first movie soundtrack, but it's not the same.
You get Nelly in this one, and I love Nelly.
Yeah, this is when Nelly was good.
Bro, you're gonna think I'm dark and mad, dude, after I said this. I sent it in the group chat. It's
no.
loading.
Why won't it?
I see the shit. She actually see this shit.
Do you want to build a snowman? Mama, be a snow.
The kid.
I see that shit before I start laughing.
The kid, man. That's crazy.
But Bilal, explain more about that scene. How you love it so much.
First of all, I think the shootouts is like really stylistic, and I do like how it switches camera shots from Martin Lawrence to Will Smith, and like a rapid, fast pace that I really appreciate. Plus, I feel like the scene just adds so much more intensity in it, especially with how like quick it moves and like how much men they have shooting these two cops. You know, it's like a situation that you're like, oh, you're feeling for these characters. Like, are they going to survive in this scenario? It's like a really intense scene with some really good comedic value during it. That's what I appreciate. I see a lot.
And I think a lot of the action, especially in that scene, is like edited really well for as sporadic and as fast as it is. Like I noticed, like even like some of the stunt work in this movie is a lot more impressive than the first movie. Where like the first movie relies on like using cuts and editing techniques to really like stick together. Like for example, car chase moments. This movie does the full stunt with the car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see the car flip. You see them do the 180 and like leave a mark on the asphalt, and it just hits more. It just sticks with you more. And like I said, like as sporadic as it is, I feel like there's some action movies you watch where like the editing is like, okay, this is cool. I can't tell what the hell is going on. I feel like this is a really consistent movie when it comes to like understanding where each character is and how the events are like progressing.
Yeah, exactly. But also, there's a couple of chase scenes that I briefly talked about. First of all, the truck chase scene, like when that carries cars and slowly the cars are like falling down, is something really intense. And then there's a boat, and then it's a pretty insane scene. But they did something similar to that during sort of the end of the movie with like the bodies. You know, they're like chucking bodies at Will Smith and Mark Lawrence while they're driving. So there's like a lot of creativity behind these action scenes that I really appreciate, which I think is something lacking in these modern action movies that we've seen. Obviously, John Wick franchise is fantastic, but there's like some action movies that are super generic action that we've seen before, pretty repetitive stuff.
Or just has like those noticeable like you're saying, like they're showing so much, like they just have that style. They don't have that style of editing where it feels super coherent.
Yeah.
At some point, it just feels like you're just watching a mess of like fists and guns on screen. Versus like this movie, it's like okay, now this character is in this situation, and we understand how their conflict keeps escalating. What are you saying, Dakota?
And I love the captain in this movie because it's
Yeah, I was
like when Bilal said bodies are get thrown in the back. He's like, I had to pick up 3 dead bodies that you guys hit. And Mike's like, sir, they were already dead. He's like, I still have to pick them up. I have to call the coroners. They got to call this person, and I got to still clean everything up.
and I love how we see that he's like, obviously he's aged and grown since the last movie, but he's the same captain. And they really wait to bring him in. I like that they wait to bring him in. They're like, we knew you guys were waiting on him. And he
I love
flips out in the office.
He's like, it's like, Captain, pressure points, your pressure points. Musa. Or no, it's the beginning of when they're talking about the therapy. And he's like, Mike's like, yeah, I've been to therapy too. You see him and the therapist.
Yes.
He's like, Musa.
Musa, the group
He's like,
therapy.
Mike, you gotta go to therapy to get therapy, not bang your therapist.
Oh, yeah, that's good shit. Yeah.
What a good movie, man.
But there wasn't. Is there? Okay, can we talk about the ending though?
What part?
From once they get to Colombia all the way to the very end.
Yeah, I like the landmine scene. I think like shot wise and intensity, because you think that once they're there, they're good, and then they're not. But also, I like that they present that they're not letting them in because they're saying they're American and they pull up. Like every movie ever would just be like, "Oh yeah," and then they save them. They don't let them in. They're like, no. Like there's people shooting. Like you have a gun. There's people shooting you. We don't know, and they tell them that they're like they're not gonna let you in because that's realistic. Like that's not. The movie like takes a moment at the end to get real and be like, nah, they still got to figure this out by themselves, and the government is not gonna help them.
And how it gets real is before they even go to Cuba when they get the phone call. And you see Martin Lawrence's his acting, like you can see him how he becomes a serious actor in this because of course his sister gets kidnapped and he don't care. He's going to go over there. Doesn't matter if it's with help, without help, he's going to try to get his sister back.
Well, their personalities are a lot not personalities, sorry. Their performances in this movie, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, definitely has a lot more room compared to the first movie for them to like grow and really like be these characters, and I like that, especially like we were talking about earlier with the video scene. I feel like that's a really big scene for both Mike and Marcus, and it's done in a way that's like it works and it's funny, but it's also very like warm and like lighthearted, and it's got good intentions and emotion behind it that's very authentic, you know.
Do you think, I was wondering, you think the first one's shot in LA? Because the scenery from the first one to this one is totally different.
Let me check that actually.
Because it's not the same house that Marcus lives in. And I think this one is actually set in Miami.
You know what bugged me a little bit? Marcus switching his like jerseys so quick. Like he was wearing a Lonesome Morning Miami Heat jersey, and then he switches up to Michael Wick Atlanta Hawks jersey. I'm like,
yeah,
that threw me off. I'm like, wait a minute.
Like, what is the point of
I think Martin Lawrence is from Atlanta, so that's probably why the Atlanta Falcons jersey is in there.
Okay, so he shot both movies in Miami.
That's weird.
In the second movie, there's scenes that are shot in Puerto Rico, and then there's scenes shot in Amsterdam.
So the Puerto Rico ones, I bet you the Puerto Rico ones are in the Colombia scenes. That's where the Puerto Rico is. Yeah, when they're in the Colombia. Yeah. The Amsterdam one, I bet you it's the car chasing.
Yeah.
When we find out that Sid is working for the FBI.
Yeah. I could definitely see that.
Also, you know when the scene the landmine goes up and then there's that epic headshot. I like that scene.
Yeah, like
Uh,
they set that up so well, and it's like you don't expect to see it, and you're like,
and then you see
But
this Will Smith make out with Mark Lawrence's sister,
and
middle of the landmine.
it's so out of pocket. You're like, what the fuck am I watching?
you know, so I just saw of. You know when they were talking about always in the first one, he saves my life, I save his life. Remember how in the first one at the end, Will Smith sees the gun out the corner of his eye, then he shoots the bad guy in the first one, and
Yeah,
then Martin Lawrence to save Will Smith's life, he shoots this guy right in the head.
And like I just love how by the end you feel everything come together, and you can tell that they really wanted to make a good sequel that felt like a sequel and
And I
had the
think
same
Sony gave
heart
them
and
more money
glow.
also.
Oh yeah, you can tell just from the way, the look of it, the feel of it. Like it's just got a bigger budget. Also, 2.5 hours. They had to really convince them for that 45 extra minutes, man.
Because like you were saying, because Pearl Harbor and Armageddon came out before this Bad Boys 2.
Okay, like the
So he
same
has
year.
that. No, like it
Oh, the
was during
director.
that
All
time.
right.
Yeah, it was during that time period
Yeah.
from the first six. So he's got the credibility from those first two movies. So that's probably why they also gave Michael Bay what he needed.
Oh, and the first Bad Boys was a great success. I mean, it was one of
And
the
the
best
only
'90s.
movie I think he done before that probably was The Rock, and that was it.
The Rock with
I
what are you
think it's
talking about?
Nicolas Cage. The Rock, that directed by Michael Bay.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I think that's before Bad Boys One. Let me see.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the wrestler. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that's why I was so confused.
No,
96. Yeah, this was before. No.
no,
95 was
Bad
Bad Boys.
Boys.
It was the year
So
after. It
Bad
was the
Boys
year
was his
after.
first movie. That's why. That's why he didn't have most of nothing. Then he started. Then he done so good on The Rock, Pearl Harbor, and Armageddon. I think that's why he got so much funding for Bad Boys 2.
Like I said, if it wasn't for Armageddon, we wouldn't have one of the best Aerosmith songs of all time. So
To be
regardless of what
honest
you
with
have
you,
to say, yeah,
I think without Bad Boys 2, he would never got that Transformers IP.
probably not. I think it definitely helped, and I think definitely being able to work with a big budget and to pull off what was pulled off. It was just I don't know. He was on a roll then, and then it just went. At least in my opinion, but
That's why
But
Bad Boys is way better than Transformers, man. Way
bad boys,
almost.
bad
oh,
boys.
are you going to
What you
talk
gonna
about
do?
the pole
What you
breaking?
gonna do when they come for you, bad boys?
Sammy, you want to talk about the pole breaking?
The poor-
I love that. Mike's like, I pay more money to get this pool. We're gonna have a great time this summer. Why the hell they hooking the dog up to the pool? That's the first
yeah,
thing.
it's so stupid. And then like honestly, I can't believe they convinced them to do it a second time at the end. I was like, again? Like we're doing it again? I don't know. It's just funny either way. So what a good
But
scene.
is that mostly it for you guys for Bad Boys 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say on mine.
So let's get right into it.
So I could go to bed now?
No, we gotta do our postings below, like
Oh,
normal.
shit.
What do you think the Rotten Tomato score is of this movie?
I feel like the first one was low. So I feel like it's gonna be high, but it's not it's like mid high. So like I'm gonna say like 67 critic. And then like 79 audience.
Below?
Honestly, I have this weird feeling that the critics won't even like this movie so much because how wild and crazy it is, how bonkers it is. So I'm gonna go with like a 36 and then audience 80.
Audience is 78.
Uh,
Critic is 24.
see, that makes sense because it doesn't
But
seem
that's
like.
so low. Like I feel like it's still better than the first movie. Like that does make
Because
sense critically
because
though,
the
because it's
first
just
one had a 44.
Well, the first one was as wild as the second one, though. I feel like there's a lot of things critically that they won't like about this, like
yeah.
especially like the opening, like the radio shop scene. Like that's probably scenes that the critics were like, "Oh no, this is disgusting. We don't like it."
Or it's just
Okay,
yeah.
so
I definitely feel like I don't know. I feel like also these aren't movies you watch like for a critic type thing. And not that like critics obviously don't have their place in what they talk about, but like this isn't a movie that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a critic's word for it. You know what I mean?
what do you guys predict the budget? Not the budget, but the box office total is for this.
I'm bad with box office.
I'm gonna say for the time period, like around 300 million, because I
How
feel
much do you
like it
think,
was
Will?
pretty successful.
I'm gonna say 220,000.
273.3 million.
Hey, I was close. Wow,
You
that's
said
crazy.
1,000.
I mean, I
He
meant
was
to.
close.
He went to see the bomb bad. No, so the budget was 130. So I was looking right
Okay,
here. Michael Bay wanted to direct the third one, but the greatest obstacle would be the cost, as he and Will Smith's demand would have higher salaries, and this was 2008. One, Will Smith was in everything. Two, Michael Bay just came off Transformers,
and
and
I'm
he
sure
was
they had bigger
and he was
Transmitter.
getting ready,
contracts.
and he was also getting ready for Revenge of the Fallen.
Revenge at the Mid.
Some Transformers.
Some
Um,
transmitters.
I'm trying to look and see because it seemed like so going through number three, it went through a whole bunch of different directors. It went through Michael Bay, then Joe something. It was in early talks to probably direct the third one, which would have came out in 2017 and 2019, with the fourth one coming out in 2019. But then it was pushed, and then and of course I remember this in August of 2017. The third film was dropped from scheduling. I remember them talking about this. It was dropped from the release schedule totally. Then in 2018, it was reported that a sequel to the film was again being planned with, of course, the directors of the current two movies. Um, After development on um, the new Beverly Hills Cop for some reason. Um, I don't understand that. Um, of course, okay, so they got the direction because they're going to direct the new Beverly Hills Cop that's supposed to come out on Netflix this year, but it got stalled because Will Smith and Martin Lawrence was so secure on to do this third movie, so they had to drop out from the fourth Beverly Hills Cop movie to get onto it that quick.
Okay.
And of course, I'm just going to tell you the Sammy. Of course, Captain Howard does come back from the third one. And of course, film started in January 2019, and of course, it came out the beginning of 2020. And of
uh,
course, that third one did so good. They're on the fourth, and it sounds like this from what Bilal has said and other people I've been hearing that this fourth one could be good, and if it makes money, we might get a fifth one. But I'm actually Bilal right now. Do you think these two could do a fifth one, or do you think
yeah.
they would be tied up with this other movie that everyone has been predicting them to
Where?
direct?
Where movie?
You don't know what their talks into direct?
No.
There's a top choice for Marvel for Spider-Man 4.
Oh yeah. Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Who? Will Smith?
No, so the directors of Bad Boys 3 and 4,
Oh yeah.
Marvel has seen. I think they already seen Bad Boys 4, like Kevin Feige and them have, and they love the work of both of these directors, and they already worked with them on Miss Marvel, and they love the way their directing style is so much. And of course, John Watts don't want to come back for Spider-Man 4. He wants a whole new thing. But of course, Sony being Sony, and Amy Pascal wants John Watts to come back. And Kevin Feige's like, we need a new person. He done his trilogy, let him do, because of course he's producing Final Destination Bloodlines, which hopefully that's good when it comes out next year. And of course he's having the new movie with Brad Pitt and George Clooney coming out this year, Wolf.
Yeah.
So he's more focused, and of course Kevin Feige knows that. So they're his top choices are these two, and hopefully they get this job. I'm thinking.
I think they'll do a great job as Spider-Man.
But is that it for you two for Bad Boys?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Overall,
Besides that, I think this thing didn't win no Oscars.
No.
So we're not going to do ratings for this?
We're going to do the ratings afterwards. Because do you think it got any Oscars?
No.
No.
No, it did not. What is your ratings, guys?
Sammy, you first, dude.
I give it a 3.5. It was fun. It was a good time. I think it's a good popcorn flick. I think it's
Wait,
good.
what did you just say?
It's a good popcorn flick.
No, before. What's the rating?
Like 3.5.
Oh my God, let me go see what you rated Bad Boys.
I think I rated Bad Boys a 3. What about you?
No, you
Bilal?
rated it 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to be consistent then. I'll give it
No,
a
but
4.
I think you give it a 4. Below
If
what would you give
I'd
it?
switch it. I'd put a 3.5 for the first and then a 4 for the second case.
Me personally, I give this one a 4.5. It's such a enjoyable film. But I give Bad Boys for Life a 5 out of 5 because it's more personal.
Below, don't spoil the next episode.
Yeah, I spoiled the next episode. What are you going to do about it? Kill me?
He just said the
Okay,
whole
I want to ask you
plot.
two a question. So I want to tell you guys, what was the thing that dragged this down for you? Like for Sammy, for you, 4. What dragged it down to a 4 for you?
It just wasn't a movie that like I felt like I wanted to rewatch over and over again. Like if it's on or like somebody wants to watch it, I'll watch it. But I don't see myself going to it like once or twice a year to rewatch, and I have to watch it. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of that's a big thing for me too, is like rewatchability. Like I love a movie that's like, okay, like I want to understand this more. I want to catch something, or I've seen it a million times and I just love it. And I felt like this movie was like good. And like I said, it's rewatchable, but it's just not something I see myself like going, you know what? 3 months from now, I'm just gonna watch Bad Boys 2.
I think the thing that drags this movie down is the long runtime. It doesn't
That
need,
too.
like, it does not have to be 2 hours and 30 minutes.
It low key put me off when it first started.
Like
I was
you
like,
could
what?
easily cut like 15 minutes out and it would be fine. It will flow better.
I think if they would have cut a lot of the rat scene down and made that whole bit faster, it would have been like they could have easily clipped like had a faster movie with that. But what about you, Dakota? What'd you think?
I give this a 5 out of 5.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
5 out
that's
of
not
5.
surprising. He's the biggest Michael Bay fan out there. So.
But you're also a big like Bad Boys fan, man.
And
So,
this
I mean, it
movie's
makes
good.
sense.
No, okay. So the one thing that would cut out for this, and I can explain with you all, is the Russian and Johnny Tapia storyline. That's the only part I didn't like about this.
It's not really fleshed out, and they try to bring it in when it's like too late to care. Like we're already halfway through
And
the
his
movie,
daughter's
and we're like,
storyline.
all right, this
Why
is
would you
fun.
throw his daughter in
like,
there?
Yeah, you know what I just realized? Michael Bay is pretty racist in movies.
He's really racist in movies. It's like that pattern continues with Transformers.
I know, bro. I'm
So
like, thank God there's new directors for Transformers. Thank
No, there's
God.
not even a director. No,
Well, what?
have you not heard for the G.I. Joe Transformers spinoff?
Don't tell me
Stephen
Michael
Caple
Bay's.
Jr. Stephen Caple Jr. is not do it, but Michael Bay's producing.
He's producing, he's not directing. Thank God.
But there's no director, so if they don't have no choice, they're gonna have to give
Do
it to him.
not
Probably.
put Michael. No, no. Shit, I'll direct
I
it.
feel like they'll just get a new director since it's a crossover.
And you gotta
I
think
could
they gotta
write.
make. You're right. But
I wish.
guys, I think that's it for the episode. Going into our next episode, so we are skipping this week's podcast episode, and we're gonna go straight into talking about Bad Boys for Life. So that'll be episode 20 of the Cinematic Boys reviews, and then after that, we're gonna be doing a podcast episode 19 of the Cinematic Boys podcast. Of course, talking about Bad Boys Ride or Die,
Do you mean
and not
episode
only
20?
that, no, to 19 because we just skipped this past week.
We're on 19 now.
Because remember, no, I'm talking about the regular podcast episode.
Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just making sure you got it right. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't. Yeah,
Yeah, it was the
sorry.
regular podcast episode. So of course we're gonna be reviewing Bad Boys Ride or Die. I don't know if Sammy's gonna see it, but he said he's gonna try to watch this other movie that is coming out tomorrow as we're recording on Netflix. Bilal has already seen it.
Yep.
I am hyped for it. It's start of the Glenazons right now. It's Mr. Glenn Powell, and it's
Alright.
Hitman.
Can we give a round of applause for Glenn Powell?
How about our? How about?
Give him a applause to Glenn Powell.
How about the other person? Aaron Jonah.
Dude, it's the Glenazons right now. We gain Hitman and Twister.
Are you discrediting people?
Now you are discrediting.
No. You just think about this, guys. Think
I
about
cannot
this.
say her name, guys.
Before the pandemic, Top Gun Maverick was supposed to come out in 2019 or 2020. If that movie came out sooner, just think how much more movies we're gonna get Glenn Powell in.
Was it Adria Arjona?
Yeah, Adrian Jonah, bro. Like she's fantastic, bro.
Have you ever thought of that?
Thought of
If Top Gun Maverick came out, because I think it was scheduled 2019 or 2020 before the pandemic hit. If that movie came out sooner, we could been getting more movies with Glenn Powell.
That's definitely. I feel like we definitely would have saw him a little sooner. I feel like that with Richard Madden too. Like if he blew up in his TV era, it would have been over.
And for another thing, and I kind of give him a pause to this. I don't know if both of you knows. So I think it's Jurassic City. They're calling it. It's supposed to come out next year. So they offered the male leading role, I think, or one of the lower roles to Glenn Powell. He turned it down. He loved Jurassic Park, but he turned it down because, of course, I think he wants to do more movies like Hitman and stuff. And of course, he's focusing on because they're doing Top Gun 3 soon. Which I don't know why they're making Top Gun 3. That's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Is Rooster returning?
Yeah, they're all returning.
That's my guy. Love Rooster.
Well, I heard it's because he didn't want to get attached to too many IPs. And so he wanted to feel like he didn't exist in every film universe that he's offered.
Which is understandable.
I honestly respect that because I feel like there's not that that's a bad thing, but there's a lot of people that don't look at it like that, and okay, it's a job.
Like Scarlett Johansson is going to be in the new Jurassic movie, and she's been like in the MCU.
No, but it kills him. He says because he loves Jurassic Park ever since he was little, and it really hurt him to turn that script down. But he has read the script and he said it's good, so. There's high hopes on that.
I mean, could be lying though. It could be like a shitty script.
And it's also Gareth Edwards too, so directing it. So
it's not Evans, it's Edwards. Gareth Evans,
yeah,
the raid director.
I said Gareth Edwards.
He said Edwards.
Edwards. You know, Evans is the superior. scared, man. You know.
Did
But of
did
course,
y'all?
guys, what are you saying?
I'll save it for the next episode because there's a news update for the Beatles biopics.
Oh yeah, we will talk about that in our news episode. But guys, of course, during the episode, we're gonna be talking about Bad Boys Ride or Die. We're gonna be giving our reviews on Hitman. I will give my review on The Watchers. I'm gonna watch that tomorrow. M. Night's daughter's brand new movie, her directorial debut. Of course, we're going to be going trailers, movie news, and all sorts of that stuff. So, guys, if you guys are watching this video right now, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave us a comment if you guys are ready for these next couple of Bad Boys episodes. Hitman, if you guys enjoy Bad Boys 2, and give me your thoughts down below. If you guys are listening to this podcast on audio, follow us. If you haven't, give us a rating. And there's gonna be something in Spotify. Leave us your thoughts about this episode, if you guys liked it or not. But I just want to say thank you guys because we hit 300 followers on TikTok.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Woo.
Progress.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't yet, go follow our social medias: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, of course the YouTube channel.
X.
No, it's not X, it's Twitter.
X.
No, it's now officially X.
I am not going to listen to Elon Musk.
You're old.
X-Men.
We're
Nice.
evolving,
X-Force.
Dakota. We're evolving, and you're not.
But guys, if you wanted to look for those, our usernames right below here at Cinematic Boys Podcast, go check those out. And guys, with that being said, when you guys hear us next time, it will be for our Cinematic Boys review for Bad Boys for Life. And guys, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys next time.
And make sure to check out my personal Tumblr that isn't the same as my Instagram handle. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, was your outro, buddy?
MBKF.